villains who were supposed to appear in previous MCU installments, pop culture references, Heartbreak. Here are some of the surprises in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. Peter Quill opens the trailer with a moving, motivational statement. "We were gone for quite a while, but no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians." The crew arrives on a new Earth-like planet, but the inhabitants are far from human. Sadly, Gamora is not with them, as she died in Avengers Infinity War. A different version of Gamora from an alternate universe came to the central MCU universe via the events of Avengers Endgame. But now, the Guardians, hoping to reunite with any version of their lost friend, are searching for her. For Drax, this means pelting a new men child in the face with a ball on Counter-Earth, and inciting a rock fight with the land's inhabitants.
Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude?
No! Ow!
Hey!
Speaking of Gamora, we don't see a whole lot of her in the trailer. It's clear that at some point the Guardians achieve their internal mission of finding her, as she's seen helping Mantis carry Drax out of a situation where he looks to have been hit in the chest by something. But there are also shots of her holding a Polaroid, drawing a weapon, and an epic shot of the team walking away in unison from a fire. It'll be interesting to see how the crew interacts with this new Gamora in a more in-depth role. The trailer also gives us our best look yet at Will Poulter's Adam Warlock, a major character in the Marvel comic books who originally played a huge role in the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War miniseries. Comic fans were a bit confused when Warlock wasn't included in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films of Avengers Infinity War or Avengers Endgame, especially after learning he was supposed to be a major player in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Warlock is shown with a jewel in the middle of his forehead, which in the comics was an Infinity Stone. Considering this is supposed to take place after the events of Avengers Endgame, we'll have to wait and see what the purpose of the gem will be in this film. Maybe the gem is an Infinity Stone, and Guardians Volume 3 will be the latest MCU film to play around with timelines in the multiverse. As Warlock has played both the hero and occasional villain in the comics, it's unclear how he will function in this film. The end credits scene from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 showed Aisha presenting a gold growth chamber with a being she crafted specifically to destroy the Guardians. So it's likely that Adam Warlock will be the secondary antagonist of the film. However, given the much greater threat at hand, it won't be surprising if Adam Warlock has a change of heart and eventually joins the Guardians to take down the High Evolutionary. It's been known for a few months that Shakudi Iwuji was joining the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as antagonist the High Evolutionary. However, the trailer is the first look at his terrifying presence outside of his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con, when he showed up in person and in costume. The High Evolutionary is the villainous name for Dr. Herbert Wyndham, a geneticist who focuses on creating human-animal hybrids, typically called new men. As was previously noted, the Guardians open the trailer by arriving on a planet inhabited by aliens, all of which resemble humans with the heads and limbs of different animals. It's safe to assume that the Guardians' arrival on Counter-Earth will interrupt whatever plans the High Evolutionary is in the middle of pursuing. This is purely speculative, but given his penchant for modifying genetics, the Guardians may see the High Evolutionary modify what's left of Ego and the severed celestial head of Nowhere to recreate a Celestial. Or worse, bring Super Ego into the fold. Now, the High Evolutionary will need a heck of a lot of power to pull off a stunt that big, and would need something like, say, the potential remaining energy inside the Anulax batteries Rocket used to make the bomb inside Ego's core during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Something big is happening with Rocket, and no one in the galaxy is emotionally ready for it. Nebula recently gave Rocket the Christmas gift to end all Christmas gifts in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which will almost certainly come into play during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, for better or worse. Rocket is responsible for many of the emotional lines in this trailer, including telling Peter Quill,
"Pete, I'm done running."
It's been implied that Rocket was created as a result of animal testing, which has always been a sore spot for the team's smallest hothead. In the comics, Rocket comes from a planet in the Keystone Quadrant that serves as an abandoned colony for the mentally ill and their genetically manipulated animal companions. It's hard to know how much of this story Gunn will keep and how much will be changed for the MCU. But Gunn has made it clear that this film's arc is the plan he's had for Rocket Raccoon from the very beginning. The trailer also shows a brief shot of Rocket hugging Lady Lila, a wise otter who is Rocket's soulmate in the comics. The voice of Lady Lila has yet to be announced, but this could be the character Gunn was teasing when the film wrapped principal photography a few months back. We know from the shot of Baby Rocket that the film will feature flashbacks, so it's unclear whether or not Lila will appear in a flashback or be introduced to Rocket in the current timeline. Regardless, it's sure to be emotionally devastating. And given the inclusion of the animal hybrid new men of the High Evolutionary, perhaps he'll provide the painful answers to Rocket's history. The Guardians of the Galaxy films have been riddled with pop culture references from the very beginning, with even the volume names referencing the mixtapes Peter Quill has made of his favorite music. While the San Diego Comic-Con teaser boasted the song Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips, the new trailer has In the Meantime by the band Space Hog. The song feels right at home with the Guardians soundtrack, and in a weirdly meta coincidence, or knowing Gunn an intentional decision, the song was the lead single off the band's album Resident Alien. The song was tailor-made to be in a Guardians movie. Another interesting bit of pop culture fun occurs when the Guardians jump out of the ship in colorful spacesuits that look a lot like the ones from Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Most importantly, there are a few shots of Quill, Mantis, and Rocket all crying out in agony. It seems as if someone might be saying their last farewell, but it's not exactly clear who. With James Gunn leaving Marvel to co-lead the film, TV, and animation division over at DC, it's also quite possible that all of the Guardians will be saying their goodbyes. Because, as Rocket says in the trailer, we'll all fly away together one last time into the forever, that beautiful sky.